Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. I am very happy to do and present to you my very second, as opposed to my very first, YouTube video of 2023, a chariot card year, and according to the great goddess, the year of greater and grander. Very excited about that, for various reasons. So right now, it's after midnight, but for the purpose of this video, it is still Wednesday, January 4th, 2022, excuse me, Wednesday, January 4th, 2023, 2023. The moon is currently void of course. It will officially go from being in Cancer to being in, from being in Gemini to being in Cancer, waxing moon by the way, at approximately 6:15 a.m. tomorrow, Thursday, January 5th, 2023, at approximately 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time. So, I present to you the Llewellyn's 2023 Tarot Calendar video for January 2023. And of course I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cover of the calendar. I have been enamored by this rich royal purple background ever since I first saw it listed on Llewellyn's website. And I'm going to have him do a close-up of the back of the calendar. Are we doing a close-up, Drake? Okay, thank you. And now we're going to do a close-up of the January 2023 entry. There is no spread, which is okay. But, as you may recall, when I did my overview of the Llewellyn's 2023 Tarot Calendar, I was excited to see astrological articles in all of the entries. So, we have the Queen of Pentacles from the Fairy Wheel Tarot, and yes, this is one of 2 or 3 tarot decks that I have seen in the last few Llewellyn's tarot calendars, and when I go to Llewellyn's website to buy the deck, it doesn't come up. So I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? So, yeah, I want to buy this deck. I might need to, look elsewhere. Although I'd rather give my money to Llewellyn, but you know. So, Queen of Pentacles from the Fairy Wheel Tarot. This queen's gift is seeing the inherent beauty in all things. Being a practical soul, she helps everyone and everything shine their brightest. Let me read that again. Being a practical soul, she, the Queen of Pentacles, helps everyone and everything shine their brightest. If something is useful in addition to beautiful, so much the better. One of my favorite explanations for the court cards is from the Celtic Tarot, the one written by Julian de Burgh. I don't remember the artist's name offhand, but Julian de Burgh is the person who wrote the companion book. And in that companion book for that tarot deck with the title The Celtic Tarot, he wrote that queens represent fixed signs. Fixed earth would be Taurus. And one of the things that I've often said about the Queen of Pentacles is that it represents a self-employed woman. Now, in today's day and age, that's a bit of a sexist interpretation, and I fully acknowledge that. I did not go out of my way to interpret this card from a sexist perspective. I especially love the warm tones in the card. I love the foliage. I love what she's holding in her hand, which looks like a peach to me. I love the everything about this image. I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the gown's shoulders It depicts a crescent moon with 3 moon milk drops flowing from them. This is a Wiccan symbol of blessings, especially blessings with regards to a marriage. But I consider this blessings in general. And I would say, given the astrological association of Taurus, this particular lunar symbol to me represents blessings in the areas of love, money, and creativity. Really do love this image. Okay, so the symbol is the Chinese lantern flower. And I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of that inset on the card, and that's what Chinese lantern flowers look like. I was very happy to discover that these flowers are called Chinese lanterns because they do look like they're glowing from within with that orange flame glow. In this deck, the Fairy Wheel Tarot, the queens are fairy godmothers, beings who bestow blessings and gifts and safeguard those under their care. Chinese lantern flowers symbolize protection, an important part of this godmother's function. And that makes perfect sense because, like their polar opposite, Scorpio, Taurians are very concerned about protection, personal security, etc. I'm going to include the information about the Fairy Wheel Tarot in the description box. Now we're going to read, I'm actually going to go in reverse. So I'm going to read the astrology article, and then I'm going to read the astrology and court cards article. So, astrology, the Queen's Challenge in Saturn in Sagittarius, the astrological association for the Queen of Pentacles card, by the way. Saturn's ambitious, heavy energy threatens to squash Sag's creativity. Her tendencies are influenced by Jupiter and Mars in Capricorn. Jupiter brings a sense of blessing and graceful expansion, so she makes hard work look easy. Mars brings enough fiery energy to combat some of Capricorn's influence, so she can create change and achieve great work. She is missing the Sun in Capricorn, which rules the Four of Pentacles, so she lacks the ability to save or gather large sums of money or resources. One thing that I am long overdue to remember and memorize are the astrological placements that correspond to the minor arcana. And it is interesting that the astrological association with this card is Saturn in Sagittarius, because, generally speaking, the astrological placements that correspond to the minor arcana are in the same element. So as a Queen of Pentacles, this would be a planet in an earth sign, because traditionally Pentacles correspond to the earth signs, which in the Western zodiac are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So I'm going to make sure to look up the traditional astrological placement for this card and include it in the description box. But this is going to be a very long description box because I want to make sure it has all the information that's necessary. Now, astrology and court cards. I've been looking forward to this article since I first acquired and received this calendar, I'm going to tell you. Astrological correspondences add dimension to court cards, which makes sense as they represent people. Each king, queen, and knight corresponds to 3 decans. Decans are units of measurement. So, since we're focusing on Taurus energy with this card, generally speaking, the Sun enters Taurus around April 18th or April 19th. So let's just make it easier and say April 18th. So April 18th and the first 10 days beginning with April 18th, that is what's called the first decan or the first decanate of Taurus. I've known and I've read in different astrology books over the years that the second decan or the second decanate I usually use the term decanate because it's a 3-syllable word, and decanates represent the 3 stages of those sun signs. So somebody who's a first decanate Taurus, their subsign is Taurus, and their subplanetary ruler is Venus. If they're a second decanate Taurus, as opposed to a first decanate Taurus, that means that usually they're born between May 1st and May 10th. That makes their subsign, their subtle influencing sign, Virgo, and their subplanetary ruler, Mercury. And then, of course, it goes on in the cycle. So let's say, for example, somebody whose sun sign is Virgo, if they're a first decanate Virgo, their subsign is also Virgo, their subplanetary ruler is also Mercury. If they are a second decanate subsign, or rather a second decanate Virgo, then their subsign is Capricorn, because Capricorn is the second sign, or the earth sign after Virgo, an earth sign, and their subplanetary ruler is Saturn. For a sun sign Virgo to have a subsign as Taurus and a subplanetary ruler as Venus, they would have to be born during the last 10 days of Virgo, or during the third decanate of Virgo. You can ask in the comments if you want me to clarify. I will clarify. Who knows, I might even do another video about that. Actually, that is a good idea. Okay. Alright, so getting back to this. Each king, queen, and knight corresponds to 3 decans, or as I call them, decanates, which are units of measurement. What is most important to know about decanates is that they are described by a planet and a sign. For example, the Queen of Pentacles decans, or decanates, are Saturn in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Capricorn, and Mars in Capricorn. 3? That's new to me. I didn't know that one card could have 3 astrological placements. You learn something new every day. The first decanate is the challenge the card faces, in this case Queen of Pentacles, while the other 2 are its natural inclinations. Each court card is also missing one of its natural sign decanates, which represents a quality the card is missing. Capricorn is this queen's natural sign, and she is missing the sun in Capricorn. The Queen of Pentacles challenge is Saturn in Sagittarius. Her tendencies are Jupiter and Mars in Capricorn. See the astrology section below for more details. Okay, so going forward, I'm probably going to need to read the main astrological article first, and then the astrology titled article. Okay, so I absolutely want to thank once again Llewellyn Publications for publishing another edition of the Llewellyn's Tarot Calendar. This makes me so happy. I say it in so many of my videos, but honestly, it overjoys me beyond words can say how thrilled that Llewellyn Publications is publishing a tarot-themed annual. And as far as I can tell, it is their only tarot-themed annual. Because we all know about the witchy calendar, the wall calendar, and the calendar planner, the witch's calendar. We know about the sun sign book, the moon sign book. We know about the daily planetary guides, the astrological pocket planners. But this is the only, and not to mention the herbal ones, the essential oil ones as well, but this is the only tarot-themed annual that Llewellyn publishes. And that's a big deal to me, the tarot man, because more than a decade went by, more than 10 years went by from the time that they stopped publishing. Drake, could you do me a favor and not drop anything? Thank you so much. Like I was saying before, I was very much interrupted. 10 years, a full decade went by between the time that Llewellyn Publications stopped publishing a tarot-themed annual and the year that they began publishing a new tarot-themed annual. So believe me, I am more than happy to be a public service announcement, a walking commercial, a bullhorn, a frickin' bullhorn for Llewellyn Publications tarot calendars, because they're the only ones that they're publishing. They're the only tarot-themed annuals that Llewellyn Publications is publishing. And I've seen other tarot calendars out there, and all you get is artwork. You don't even get, like, insight, spreads, and tips. So, and those that just have artwork, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. I have reverence for artists. I really do. And I'm very big on making sure that I give artists the credit where they do and all that other stuff. But I gotta tell you, it really makes a difference for me when I see these calendars, because they're so chock full. And of course, I want to thank the Barbara Moore for continuing to write the insights, spreads, and tips that are featured in these Llewellyn published tarot-themed wall calendars. And of course, thank you to everyone in YouTube land who's been spreading the word about these calendars, who's been buying them, who's been giving them to themselves as gifts, to others as gifts. That means so much to me, because the more calendars, the more of these tarot calendars people buy, the greater the chances that Llewellyn Publications will continue publishing them, which will make me very, very, very happy. And of course, as always, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you so much for all the likes, for all the comments, for all the shares, and for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. All the likes, all the comments, all the shares, all the subscriptions, all of these things help out a YouTube channel. They just do. And they absolutely make a big difference for any YouTube channel content creator. I am not a professional YouTube channel content creator. I don't want to be one, but I will tell you that it makes a big impact for those of us who are not professional YouTube channel content creators. All of those likes, all of those comments, all of those shares, all of those subscriptions, they make a big difference for a YouTube channel. They just do. They just do. I'm thinking about Powered by Rainbows, and you know, again, they just, that's a YouTube channel that also needs a lot of help, but you know, but anyway, that's another topic for another video for another day. And of course, an extra big and beautiful thank you to those of you who have scheduled your sessions. It makes me happy that in one day I was contacted by 2 people who want to schedule sessions with me. One of them is looking to schedule her session this month. The other one wants to schedule it sooner than later, but it will either be this month or next month, depending upon all of the other things that are going on in her life right now, professionally, personally, academically, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, and that makes me happy because, you know, part of me has been like, okay, it's time to like offer my psychic services. People need to contact me. They need to make it happen. And now it's happening. And I'm thinking about somebody who began using my psychic services in September 2001. Yes, as in literally a week after the World Trade Center attacks that occurred on Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. And she has been using my psychic services ever since. And I want to tell you, it is a huge honor for me that she still does. But I still remember one time she wanted to schedule a private prosperity class with me. And she wanted me to like let her know what dates I had available. She gets back to me, I think it was 5 weeks later, and she was like, okay, I want to do this date. I'm like, that date isn't available anymore. And she's like, what do you mean it's not available anymore? I'm like, what do you mean, what do I mean? I let you know 5 weeks ago that I have these dates available at this time. That was then, this is now. A lot happened between then and 5 weeks from then, meaning now. So she forgot how fast I book up. I'm like, have you met me? I'm Mr. Prosperity, because I was teaching prosperity classes at that time too. So, you know, it was like, I book up. You let time go by. I'm like, what are you doing? You of all people know I book up fast, so what are you doing? Anyway, so yeah, I always think about, and I'm not going to mention any names. I could, because it's been a while since she's used my psychic services. But she did say that she definitely wanted to have a reading with me again because it's been too long. I'm like, okay. But I promise you, the next time I talk about her, if she has not availed herself of my psychic services again, I will mention her name. Yes, I will. You can take that to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. You can take that to the bank, bitches and witches. Bitches and witches. I'm not going to say ladies and gentlemen anymore. I'm going to say bitches and witches. I like that expression better. You don't like it, that's a problem. Okay. Silliness aside, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make the most of this Friday's full moon / lunar eclipse in Cancer. Express your emotions. If you want to cry your frickin' eyes out, cry your frickin' eyes out. If you want to bang the pillow, bang the pillow. Please do not assault anybody. Please don't kill anybody. Please do not do anything that's going to land you in jail or dead or worse or both. You know? Don't do that. No morgue, no jail. If you need to smack a bitch, smack her virtually. Sorry, my beautiful tree. And these are the last videos with the Yule tree. You know what that means. I know. Anyway, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful night, a wonderful week, an amazing weekend. I know I'm going to have an amazing weekend. And stay tuned for the next video.